So we are at Emmerich's Pure Maple. We're in Hyndman, Pennsylvania, Somerset County, Pennsylvania. And they're installing new woods out here. And I just dropped off an Atlas Copco vacuum pump for the new expansion. I always tell everybody how pretty it is out here at Emmerich's. But over there on the hillside, they got a pretty white church. And it's kind of pretty out here. There's their sap hauler. And then they sure do love these wind turbines out here all over the mountain ridges. But yeah, it's just beautiful out here. Make a ton of good maple syrup in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. Just good people. And they got keelers. They don't have sap buckets. They got their own language out here. Sap bucket's called a keeler. There was a company out here that made sap buckets that were wooden, and it was called the Keeler. I imagine the Keeler Bucket Company or something, but that's why they call them Keelers. So Matt and Stephanie, looks like Stephanie's not coming. You ready? Okay. Really safe. They just got sugar maple everywhere out here. Side of a mountain now. Who doesn't want to do this? Crying out loud. Greatest job in the world. Sugar house right there. Down there a ways. Bit of a fall down there. So right when we got on this path, that's part of it?
More or less, once we come across the pump back here.
So whose sugar house is sitting there at the top?
The Miller family.
They make sugar right here?
Well, when we come by their tubing, that was some of theirs. Then they cap on the other side. Their middle boy's been helping us this year. They haven't sugared for a couple of years. This is going to be phase 2, this area here.
Gotcha.
We're not worried about this until next year.
I need to get a GoPro. Got it all marked off. Gotta switch hands here. See that? Lots of deer ticks out here. Nice woods. They don't got them like this everywhere in the country. Beautiful. Wow. This is too much fun. Totally worth the 3.5 hour drive just to do this. Wow. This looks fun. Still in two-wheel drive. Can I do it? Yes, sir. Man, it's just pretty. Old sap tank sitting there. Meadow. There's not too much prettier maple country.
This is where the first set of wet dries come down. There's on the left side, there's 10 main lines to the top of the hill, and there's 4 on the right side that we couldn't get to go around the hill.
Was that an old sap tank we drove by out there?
Yes, it is. That was, when we tapped this woods 30 years ago, that was tank number 1.
Well, 30 years ago, you'd have been 8.
I was. This was tank number 2, and around the corner was where we had tank number 3, and then a couple years after that, we put in a 4th tank. So we had 4 tanks along this.
Is this like a logging road or
a haul road for coal?
Coal. Are you taking your tanker right down through here?
No. We're going to take it right down to the township road.
So how many wet dries?
There's 4 that'll come down off of this whole hillside.
Should be coming down with some velocity off this hill. Yeah. Man, that's just beautiful. Nothing better than a sight of a new tubing woods. Jeez, oh man. flagged over here. Just pretty.
We'll run down. I'll show you about where the tank is.
All right. This makes you realize that the farmers that make syrup, man, they just know what they're doing. I mean, Emmerichs are some of the best in the country. These guys regularly get over half of a gallon of syrup per tap. 6 pounds per tap. Regularly. So for you hobbyists, it just makes you realize, like, these guys are so good at what they do. You know, they just make so much more syrup per tree and per acre than they used to. This is also why we have so much more maple syrup on hand, as you know, in Canada and the United States. Here we are, back in Emmerich. What do you got?
All right, right here is the other two. We drove by one wet. Well, we stopped at the first wet dry.
Yep.
We drove by the second one at that road. Here's number 3 and here's number 4 coming in. The property line runs out this way and then it cuts up the hill.
So are you going to run wet dry along this coal road?
Yes, there'll be 1.5 inches wet dry that comes down to right here. We're going to tie in, go under the road, onto the neighboring property, and 700 feet down to the bottom of the hill is where the pump house will be.
So you're going to go under, you're just going to dig a trench, bury a pipe?
We're going to put four 3-inch pipes right in the road and run them right out. It's going to come in right here somewhere. Haven't quite exactly figured out what, but all this will tie in. There'll be at next year there'll be 4.5-inch pipes that come up through here. One of them will stop here. These 2 wet dries will tie in, and the other 2.5 inches will go up around. There'll be 1, 2, and there'll actually be a third one for across the road. When we come down that 4-wheeler path on the right side of the road, that's next year's project, there'll be another 1.25 inch wet dry for it.
So this is going to be 1.5 inches on top and bottom?
Yes.
Carrying all the vacuum up and carrying all the liquid down.
Yep.
No kidding. How about that? Jeez, you guys did some work out here. This is going to be, you think, about 5,000 taps total?
Between 5 and 6, somewhere in there.
Is there any woods nearby you could possibly snag in the future?
Not this big. Not that I know of. Not this close.
To tie into the same system?
I don't know about around the hill. I don't know.
When they say around a hill, for the people watching this video, that's like a half hour. That means like around the mountain. So this road right here, that's where you'll be bringing this. That's just so you can get to this.
Right at the 700 feet down is a township road.
Gotcha.
So.
No kidding. It's ridiculous. Just don't.
And from that where the pump house will be up to the house, it's about 4.5 miles one way.
You're going to concentrate it in the pump house.
We're going to concentrate at the pump house to 8% and just haul the concentrate home.
You're going to be concentrating what? Water?
Sap.
Yeah. You haul water. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you haul water,
here
concentrate
in
sap.
Somerset County, they haul water. They collect sap and keelers.
One thing in Somerset County, we know how to make syrup, though, unlike Ohio.
Oh, hey, I didn't do any cutting down on. Yeah, they do know how to make syrup in Somerset County, no doubt. It's a culture.
So there, you got 1.25 inches, and the 1 inch in the middle will be to get these taps on this bank.
Gotcha.
Here, going out through. That's why there's 3 pipes there.
The one in the middle is your.
Will be the inch. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So, all right, we'll go back up around the hill here.